In Luke chapter 8, once again, I have questions. And I know I can always Google, but again, I would like to hear from you. And if you can't tell, today I'm sitting on the floor. If you can't tell, did you need to know that? No, but hey, let's continue. And when I was reading Luke chapter 8, I could not go beyond verse 1 to 3. I did read the entire chapter, but my mind stayed here. And this is women who followed Jesus. So number one, for those who have issues with women being in ministry, at least here we see, first of all, in the beginning when we started, we found that there was a prophetess called Anna. She was a prophetess, she was a woman, she was in ministry. And then here we have Jesus, who was being supported by women. Okay, so I have two questions. So number one, so let me start with my first question. These women who are here, I don't know if they are 3, they are 4, or they are 5. So because if you go to verse 2, along with some women he had healed, and from whom he had cast out evil spirits. Among them were Mary Magdalene, and then there is a comma, from whom he had cast out 7 demons, and then semicolon. So this means this description is about Mary Magdalene. And then after the semicolon, there is Joanna, comma, which is why I think the following is all about Joanna, because there is Joanna, comma, the wife of Chusa, comma, Herod business manager, another semicolon. So I think this Joanna was the wife of Chusa, and this Chusa was Herod business manager. If I go with how verse 2, if I go with how Mary Magdalene had been punctuated, because we had Mary Magdalene, comma, from whom he had cast out 7 demons, semicolon. And then we have Joanna, comma, the wife of Chusa, comma, Herod business partner. So I think this is one person. And if this is one person, I ask myself, why did Luke take time to give us details about these people? At the same time, I'm finding it interesting that we have the wife to Herod business partner being among the women that supported Jesus, because Herod, wasn't he among the people who led to Jesus' crucifixion? So I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't quite remember. I will see at the end of the book of Luke. But I find this interesting that among the women who were supporting Jesus, one of them was the wife of somebody who was Herod business partner, which is interesting. And it is interesting, and it is interesting in a beautiful way. So I was like, and then I asked myself, why did Luke take time to give this description? Mary Magdalene, I think for Mary Magdalene, I understand, from whom he had cast out 7 demons. But for Joanna, the wife of Chusa, why did Luke see the need to highlight this? This Joanna was the wife of Chusa, and this Chusa was actually Herod business partner. I was like, what is here? What is here? So of course I can always Google, and maybe I will Google Badai, but I don't know. If you have more information, please share with us, in as much as we can Google, but just share with us to let us know what you think. And then we have Susanna, semicolon. So we are not told anything about Susanna. But these 3 people, why did Luke highlight them? Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Susanna. And then for Joanna, why did Luke feel the need to tell us she was the wife of Chusa, and this Chusa was Herod business partner? And then add many others who are contributing for their own resources to support Jesus and his disciples. So I'm like, these many others, is it many others women? Because this is just talking about women, many other women, and I believe it's about women. And it reminds me the point where it says that women in nature are normally more religious than men, or they are pulled easily towards religion than men. Yeah, something like that, to support Jesus and his ministry. So that was my first thing that stood out, was the details about these 3 women, Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Susanna, especially Joanna. That really stood out for me. And then the fact that we are told that it is women who are supporting Jesus' ministry. So I was like, didn't men contribute or what? Okay, so that's the second thing. And then the third thing now, so here, those are the questions I have in mind. Kindly help me understand better if you have any other information. And then 2, for those who normally think that women should not do anything in church, they should just keep quiet, we have Jesus allowing women to give to his ministry. And then number 3, there are also those people who have issues with giving towards either church or any ministry, because sometimes you'll go to YouTube and then you'll find people saying, if you've enjoyed this podcast or if you've enjoyed this ministry, you can support us by giving towards this M-Pesa number, then they give the pay bill number, and then they give the account number. There are people who are normally offended. They're like, why are you doing this? It is okay. It is okay to support these ministries. It is even okay to support that podcast. It is not bad. If you are enjoying their services, if you're enjoying their content, if you're enjoying, perhaps it is a ministry that puts whatever they do on YouTube. Perhaps they give to women, to give to widows and orphans, perhaps they give to needy children, and then they're like, for us to reach out more, or to our work to become more effective, kindly give to us. It is okay to give. It is not a bad thing. It is not an evil thing. It is not unbiblical. It is actually biblical, because there are people who are giving to Jesus ministries. And most of these ministries, whether it is a church ministry or it is an organization ministry, or even it is a podcast, it may not be a ministry per se, but it is a podcast, it takes a lot of money. A good production takes a lot of money. So it is okay to support these people. It is not biblical. It is actually very biblical. The same way, although here, even the same way, giving to churches is also very biblical. So some of us have issues with giving offerings to church. We're like, oh, instead of paying offering to church, I'm going to give this money to somebody who is in need, which is okay. If you want to pay somebody's fees, if you want to buy somebody lunch, if you want to give to somebody who doesn't have a meal, it is okay. But at the same time, it is also okay and very biblical to give offerings in church, not just from this, but also from many other Bible verses. So those of us who are struggling, why are we giving money? We give money to support that ministry. It could be a church as a ministry, and your offering will go to facilitate a lot of things in the church. It could also be somebody's ministry that is on YouTube, or maybe it is not on YouTube, but it is on the ground. They hold a faction, and then they tell us to help us to do more. It is okay to give into people's ministry as long as you believe in their cause. And it is also okay to give to podcasters and maybe any other platforms that people ask for support, either on YouTube, on Facebook, or on IG, or in any other social platform. It is not wrong. It is okay. So these were the things that stood out for me in Luke chapter 8. Yeah, so I would like to hear from you. What is your most outstanding lesson from you in Luke chapter 8? And encourage you to continue spending time in God's presence in this festive season. Have a nice day. I have to say, my evenings are usually very uneventful. I'd already eaten, so I was taking the dish to the sink, and most of the time I normally cook earlier. I normally don't cook at night, hence that's why you do not see me filming the cook. Then usually I normally either listen to a course, like here I was listening to a course, or I watch an educative content, or I watch a movie, and then from there I sleep. There is normally nothing much during my evenings. Yeah, I encourage you to watch this course. It's free. It's on YouTube. It's a 6 hours course on personal branding by Caleb Ralston, as texted. It's worth your time.
He reinforces the credibility of this statement by talking about what he's done not only for his personal brand, but all the brands that he works with. For the Super Bowl campaigns, for example, the majority of them are determined